Hello, hello,
Hello, good
hello.
evening.
Welcome back to your Wednesday night conversation. So far, so good. Internet on my side. Um, but I don't knock it until something goes out. If I can make it to the end of the episode, I'm lucky. But for
The end of the episode isn't the problem, it's the rest of it.
yeah, it's the beginning of it that I get all ticked off. But welcome to
It's fine.
Live with Fefe and Freddy. I'm Felicia Fifi Minor. And if you're wondering what I am supposed to be a bunny, but I cannot find my bunny ears. But I think my kids have them. So,
It honestly, it took me a second to figure out why the fuck you were a bunny. And I'm like, oh.
because some guy died
I'm like,
and
why are
came back
you a
to life.
bunny? Like, why a bunny of all things? I got you. I got you. I'm
Mm.
I'm I'm there now. I am on
You
top
know
of
what
it.
would have
I
been
am
cute is if I would have done a rabbit and then you would have been like in a red suit or something. You
oh,
know,
we'll just
we don't
do
coordinate.
just do we'll just do
We
like
don't coordinate.
mythical, like imaginary creatures. We'll just start doing like Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Next time, give me the memo.
This was
It's fine.
oh
Why? Why, Felicia?
commotion there. Commotion there. Commotion. They're coming back from the park.
Ah,
Um, yeah. So out of all the things, I know that sometimes this drives a wrench in the week. Um, so and kids don't get schedules. I don't think even if we do the same thing every day, all
I
the
mean, maybe
time.
they don't necessarily do, but the adults in the house do. So,
Yes. So that's why the adult took the
mhm.
children's to the park so I could get ready. Because
Yeah.
it becomes like a madhouse in here when I'm trying to get ready and then they're like having fits and I can't really get ready. So whatever. Um enough about my life. We'll talk about it on Patreon. Today we have a show packed full of whatever the hell we just came up with. But it's ways not to speak or ways to speak or just don't say anything at all. To a poly person. I didn't write that on there, but I remember.
And I'm like, you
Um,
left that, totally just left that off there.
yeah.
It's fine.
Um, there were women in space
Mm.
and Jeff Bezos, if that matters. And so much more. Um, but since my internet is working, I get to ask the question this week without wondering if I'm still here.
Yeah.
Um, this week's question, I've asked this on my Facebook. Um, what character from a movie would describe you?
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
noticed you haven't answered this one.
I don't. I don't.
You've answered
I
all my
don't.
other questions, but you have not answered this one.
I don't think I saw this one, and I don't know. Honestly, I don't know
Really?
what is the chat working in here because I'm not seeing it.
Well, according to this, we have one person.
Because I'm not seeing anything. I'm not even seeing our normal like thing on the
You
chat.
don't see
You know what?
Laura that said hi, hello, how are
Nope.
you?
I literally see nothing. But I am apparently trying to join. Um, You know what? While you do the housekeeping, I'm going to go away and I'm going to try and come back in and see
Uh-huh.
if that helps things.
So I have not answered this question because I feel like and don't say Tu Wong Fu because I always get that. That doesn't describe me, I don't think. I don't think, but I could be wrong. Um, I don't know either, but I I loved a lot of the answers that, it says it asked me
I was
when
I was gonna fix my
when
name first.
so, okay, Scoop. Um, so you figure out what character you wanna be in a movie or a movie character that describes you. Um, Scoop, so Freddie is the one with the issue this week because now Restream is asking if Freddie Prince Charming wants
Oh,
to join the stream.
I can see the chat now though, so that fixed something.
But you're not a guest. You're on the account, which is weird.
I
Hashtag Restream fix this.
I don't
Um,
know. I don't know what it's doing.
also, share the episode. I feel like our normal 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are not here right now. But, send that love, send that shout out. Character in a movie. If I was gonna go for it, I don't know, and not too Wong Fu. I have warned the folks, not too Wong Fu. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. I honestly have no idea.
I don't. I so it's hard for me to picture myself. I thought it was a great question. First and foremost, that's why I asked it. But it's hard for me to picture this plus like my
Mm.
character being I guess, an entertainer, and then having a family. So I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't. I honestly, I wouldn't even begin
So
to know how to
something to
answer
think
that.
about. If you have a clue of who your character in a movie describes your life, if you have a clue on who you think our character should be, put it in the comments or share with us later. I'm always down for that. If you want the VIP treatment, we've been putting some good stuff on Patreon, especially on the Afterglow. I would say the last couple have been kind of you missing out on some things. And we don't post everything on Facebook. I sure don't these days. Um,
Mm-mm.
uh, and so Patreon is where you're gonna get it. If you want that VIP treatment, just go ahead and subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/live with Fifi and Freddie. At first I thought it wasn't gonna come on. Um, And with those perks come, especially if you do our upper levels where you get a sticker, a mug, a t-shirt, um, and a tote bag. The bonus is that I don't have to send it out. It's really a payoff for you and for me. You see how this works? It just really is great for the both of us. So there's that. We like to thank our patrons, Brandon, Cassandra, Chris, and Michelle, D, Drake Jensen, and Michael, Casey Starr, Carrie and Corey, Joan, Laura, Leanne, Madam Askew, and the Grand Arbiter, Nicole, Patricia Mason, Shannon, and I should put Bill in the front. That now is going to bother me.
Yeah.
Unless, Bill, you want me to say William every time. That is up to you. Oops. Deleting people's names too. It's fine. You know what? This will throw my brain off because I've been saying Brandon first the whole time, so
Yeah, that's fine.
it'll be
You'll get
fine.
over it.
And a huge shout out to Wigs of a Kind. I did not maintain this wig this evening. I just kind of tossed it on because I was looking for my bunny ears. um, but Wigs of a Kind. I'm wearing a Wigs of a Kind wig, and Freddie is not. He is wearing lines
I am, yes.
on his head. My house
Yeah,
is
no.
always so busy. So if you hear children screaming, it's because somehow
You would
and
think that the other
they get
adult
tired.
would have. You would think that the other adult though would have timed it better so that they didn't get home right as this was starting.
Oh, it's not about
It's just,
timing. It's about
just,
I don't. I don't judge as long as they don't bother me, I guess. I don't know. Uh, there's 2 other adults in there. Anyway,
Oh.
if you wanna support us, message us, give us your money, all of it. It's tax season, give us your money.
Fuck taxes.
Again, we are a charitable donation, we just don't have the 501(c)(3) status.
We're just broke. And then,
So, how was your weekend?
my weekend was actually pretty good. I don't think I did anything other than Saturday.
I'm sure
Did we
Dee
do
will
anything on
remind you
Sunday?
if you forgot
I don't think we
something.
did anything on Sunday. I don't know. I don't think I did anything on Sunday. But Saturday was the drag bingo at Shea Cheese, which was super fun. The owners are awesome.
And
They're all
have
about
seen us
community.
before.
Right. It's a weird like 6 degrees of separation kind of thing. Like we heard they got connected to us through folks that used to go to the cat bingo way back when it was like in Tempe. Like it's a whole thing.
And they
Um,
went to the cat bingo once upon a time when it was in Tempe as well.
right.
Mhm.
But no, it was good. If you haven't been up to Shea Cheese, it's up at 32nd Street in Shea. Um, they have a great selection of like cheeses that you can purchase. They have
Good
like wines and
quality
non-alcoholic
cheese.
stuff. They also have like some grilled cheese things. They have a menu of like you can get like a charcuterie board kind of thing, like a meat and cheese plate,
Which we got.
or just cheese. There's some grilled cheese sandwiches on there. There's a collection of things that you can get. I want to go back up and get one of the grilled cheese because I wanted to get a grilled cheese on Saturday, but there was no way I was going to be able to shovel that in my face without making a complete mess of my lips and stuff. So it wasn't going to happen. Um, it was an interesting crowd.
Mhm. Um, I would say it was. There were some people that I think it was their first time being at a drag bingo, so they didn't know what to expect.
Right.
There was a person that had not or had claimed to not played bingo before, but was very wise toward the end. Oh,
Ah,
the
what the?
camera took that.
Okay,
Okay.
interesting.
Uh, I didn't even move my hand,
No, I don't know where that came from. But okay,
so that's
we'll
cool.
go with it. It's fine.
I guess it didn't like that the person has never played bingo, but
I found out that my partner has never played bingo before.
is that true?
Yeah,
D,
I
is
am
that
shocked and
true?
appalled. I don't even I feel
How
like I
has
don't
she
even know
never
her, and
been
this
to one of
whole
our bingos?
marriage is a sham.
It's the bait and
Marriage is a
switch. That's what
sham.
I'd say.
I know.
Um,
I don't even know what to do anymore.
but on top of that, we bought this amazing popcorn.
Oh my god, that shit was so good.
It was like crack
Oh
in a
god,
nice way.
it was so good. Wow.
Wow,
You
get
see what
over it.
happens? You see
Is
what
that what
happens?
are
We
you
get
just
married,
shoving
and
our
then this is how people
feelings
talk to me.
on
This is
you
how
just
people.
shoveling our feelings and burying them
It's
or
terrible.
buy my ticket? Okay, sure.
Whatever.
Ooh,
um.
Marissa says she's
The
working on hair.
I feel like that's exciting. I feel like we need to chat about the two old ladies that were there. That I
Mm,
I
mm.
listen. I appreciate people that you know go out and support the shows and support local drag and all the things. However, that does
Mhm.
not then give you license to sort of I don't know. It was a weird vibe. Like it was like I don't even know how to explain it. Like the first thing they did was come in and one of them was like, "Is there going to be any
They came
entertainment?"
in. Oh, let they first came in with, uh I felt like they came in with baggage, and,
Mm.
um, so their first question is they don't even ask our name. They just
No.
come in and say, um, "Are you gonna dance for us? Are you gonna sing? You're gonna do something?" And I'm like, "Whoa,
I'm like,
um,
what the
I'm
fuck?
Felicia, and you are?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And,
It was like,
basically, uh, when we go to other drag bingos, they dance and they sing and they do stuff.
well,
Mm,
good for
okay.
them. Th-
I have
Great.
not done that, and I have hosted these bingos with Freddie, by myself, with other people, and
Yeah,
have
no, I
not performed
mm-mm. No.
and done
And
just fine.
more
People
power to the folks
definitely
that
come up
decide
to
to
me.
work that into their shit, but we don't, and there's no reason to really. Like there really isn't. Like it's
Mm-mm.
mm. But then it was like, and then they proceeded to just be like, well, where do you perform? Because we like this bar the best. And we usually go to this show. Although when we go to this show, we found that this show is better than this show. And they're acting like they've done all of these things. And then Felicia mentions that she performs at Stacy's, and they're like, "Oh, we don't know anything about Stacy's. Is it similar to this other bar?" And it's like,
No,
no.
but
I'm like, there's more than one bar. It was it was very like
it was very cringe,
it really was, and it was so hard to like,
very
I
cringe.
don't, it was so weird. It was like they were almost like they were treating us like their own little like trick ponies, like,
Children?
you know.
Oh,
No, it was like, okay, now entertain us. Now spin around and do a trick. Now, like, it was very like, it was really weird. Don't be those people, y'all.
yeah, and then, um
Please.
so we let them go to break, and they ask, like, all these weird questions, and then, when we get to the speed blackout round, they freaked out. And if you don't know, um, at our bingos, we do the speed blackout round, and what that means is we call the numbers really fast. But in
And
this
let's be real,
case, I didn't call them out so fast that you
no, they
couldn't
weren't
get
actually,
to
they
them
weren't that fast at
because they
all.
had they had 3 cards.
Right.
And basically, if you and I'm not saying whether you're slow or fast, but basically, if you just look down, if I say B and then I say the number, you just look down real quick at the number I called. And then, you know, I I don't know how to explain it to you, but I've done this myself in other bingos where I just go, okay, I don't see that number. I don't see that number. Go. I don't see that
Right.
number. You know what I'm saying? And so they huffed and puffed and
And like, let's, okay,
lived.
so normally
Um,
Felicia calls the numbers fast enough that I have a backlog of balls. So like, because what she'll do is she'll pull a number, call the number, and then hand it to me, and I put it on like the board. And because that's just the easiest way to do it, it's the smoothest, like it's the most efficient. And normally, like I
mhm.
have a backlog of balls, and I'm trying to keep up as she's calling. The first round, I had plenty of time to pick up the ball and put it, like, it was not that fast. And like, I'm sorry that we didn't cater to you. Like, but it was just so, I don't know. I don't even know.
It was very
It like they
weird.
just gave off like icky vibes. Like if they were like
I was
cishet
like,
men, like the vibe would have been like, ugh. Like it would have like been really really icky. It was only slightly less icky because they were like old women, like older women, but it was still that same like weird kind of cisgender entitlement. Like there was something there that it was like, we're here for your entertainment, like that. It was that kind of like and since you're here to entertain us, then you have to do what we tell you to. Like, it was a weird, like, it was very, I don't even know how to explain it. It was very strange. It was very like, I, I don't know how to describe it. It was weird. Uh-oh. And Felicia froze. Of course she did, because we spoke too damn soon. It's fine. So I'll just start going right into the tip. Because Felicia died. We don't know where Felicia went. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what else I did besides Saturday. I don't think I did anything on Sunday, but I did. I did go to the gym Monday and Tuesday, so I am trying to stick with that. So I'm trying to get myself back into like the habit, even though it's like it's hard and I hate the gym with a passion. I hate the gym so much, but I'm trying to get back into it so that I can eventually like enjoy it. We shall see. All right, so my tip. Oh, we did celebrate our friend's birthday. We went to Old Spaghetti Factory, which is always, as someone that doesn't often opt to go to like a chain restaurant, it's always interesting to me to see which chain restaurants people decide to go to when they do make that choice. This poor girl was like the lone server in this room where there were like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, almost 30 people, I think, because there were 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, 25, 26 people, something like that. It was a lot of people, and she seemed to be the only person handling us. And bless this girl, she did her best, but Lord, it was, yeah. And it was interesting. And they put us in this like little room that had no ventilation, it had no air, it was warm as fuck, but it was good. Yeah, it's like, seeing folks. All right, we are gonna roll into my tip for this week. All right, so this week's tip is their Mizithra cheeses. Like that's if I'm going to Old Spaghetti Factory, that's all I ever get is their spaghetti with brown butter and Mizithra cheese. Everything else is like me. So we've done a lot of discussion on the show about like things not to say to like trans folks, to things like that. We always talk about what not to say. We talk about microaggressions. We talk about all that stuff. We've talked about ethical non-monogamy quite a bit. We've talked about all sorts of different things. I don't know that we've ever really kind of talked about things not to say to a poly person or a poly couple. So I'm like, and for those of you that happen to be friends with my partner on the Facebook, she will often post the shit that guys send her on various dating apps, and talk about cringe, like, ugh. And some of these are things that we have both heard, some of them, but I will preface this by saying that my partner and I are admittedly either the best or worst poly people ever, depending on your point of view. Neither of us currently have any other partners. We rarely date, not because we don't want to, but I think it's because we've learned to catch the red flags early, and we've learned who and what we want to put our energy into. And that's not most people. It's just not. So, but we're always open, and it's a thing. Someone being new to dating somebody poly isn't necessarily an immediate stop sign, but if you are that person and you are going to go that route, is you know, if you're contemplating being poly, I beg you, please, 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 please do a little research, do a little self work before you decide to dive right in. And we've talked about that shit before. Yes, uh, polyamorous for quality, not quantity. So we're not going to sit there and just collect partners for the sake of collecting partners. It's not about having 18 different partners. It's about fostering honest connections with people, and if those connections end up leading to a friendship, fantastic. If it ends up leading to something romantic, great, cool, whatever. God damn it, Felicia, I'm gonna kill your husband. I'm gonna kill him. um so here are some things not to say to a poly person or couple, especially if it's someone you might potentially be interested in getting to know more intimately. So this, I'm pretty sure that like my partner and I have heard probably variations of these at one form or another at some point in our lives being poly. First one, oh, you're poly. Great. I wasn't looking for anything serious anyway. So this implies that poly folks just want the hookup. While there are some types of ethical non-monogamy or E&M that go this route, and often you'll find even swingers, even though that's more sort of based in sex, you'll find that a lot of times even swingers look for some sort of connection. Like a lot of times they will have regular couples that they play with, but even so, this is a super harmful stereotype. The fact that if you are poly, that you're just looking for the next hookup, you're not looking for anything serious, blah, blah, blah. I know I am not looking for nothing serious. And oh, no, honey, we can't do that. We frown upon those type of things. And I don't have makeup no, we don't do that. Although if you want to put on a bunny mask, that could work. And most of the people that I know that are poly, not necessarily involved in other forms of ethical non-monogamy, they're not all about the hookup either. They're looking for some sort of actual meaningful connection. Another one is, so where's my orgy invite? Lord Jesus Christ. I've heard that so many times. Again, no. Contrary to popular belief, being poly isn't all about massive orgies and group sex. Again, you may find that more in like the swinger world, which is a type of ethical non-monogamy, but it is not polyamory. While some polycules do have group sex, this actually isn't really the norm, as not everyone in a polycule are sleeping with each other. Like, that's not generally how that works. It can be, but it really often isn't, because you have yourself and your partner, you have your partner's partner, you're a hinge, there, and not everybody is going to want to have sex with everybody else. Like, I'm pretty sure that if my partner were to have another partner, I strongly doubt that I'd be like, oh yeah, no, I totally want to hit that. Like, we have similar types, but still, like, that's not really a thing. So no. So who's your favorite partner? Okay, again, just no. Do you ask like parents who their favorite kid is? Like, that's the same sort of vibe. Like, it's not about favorites. It's not about, oh, this we hear a lot. I'm poly too, just don't tell my partner. No, that's not poly, that's cheating. If you are poly, but your partner doesn't know about it, you're not poly, you're a sleazebag. Plain and simple. That's not you know, some some people do have a don't ask, don't tell policy, but that requires a lot of conversation. And I know for me personally, that is not something that I would want to be involved in. So if I started to like go out with somebody and they're like, yeah, we have a don't ask, don't tell, that would be a stop for me, because I 100% no, we're not. I won't get involved in that. That's too sketchy for me. Um, and you know, generally being poly depends on open and honest communication between everyone involved. So if you're saying that your partner doesn't know that you're poly, that's sketchy as fuck. Let's see. Is one partner not enough for you? Okay, icky gross. It's not about being enough. It's about being able to explore potential connections because love is not finite. And I think that tends to be something that kind of gets lost with folks. They don't think about the fact that it's not about enough. Like is if you have multiple kids, it's like, well, why do you have multiple kids? Wasn't one enough? Like it like it gets weird. Like just don't don't talk about being enough. That is not a good thing there. Like we don't talk about being enough. Um hey, welcome back. Mostly.
We'll see if it works.
Mm. So another one is, so when are you gonna settle down? Okay, this implies that polyamory is
Ooh.
like a phase that you're just out there sowing your wild oats, and generally it's not a phase. Even if folks who identify as poly are in what looks like a monogamous relationship, it doesn't mean that they're not poly. It just means that at that moment in time they do not have any additional partners. So again, it doesn't
Mm.
mean it doesn't mean that it's not a thing. It's like if I have multiple partners, and mind you, I haven't for a hot minute, but one doesn't like it like it's not a phase. I'm not just suddenly gonna be like, I'm not, I don't want to do this anymore, and then just drop everybody. Like my partners are my partners. Like that's just who it is. Like that's what it is. Oh, this one. Okay, this one gets heard a lot, especially folks when they're going into like new sort of they're trying to get information or whatever, and they're just kind of digging, and they say something like, "So who has sex with whom?" So
Is that kind of like when people are like, "Who's the top?"
right, it's like doesn't fuck you like it. Regardless of how many people are in a polycule, this is none of your business
Mhm.
unless you are also having sex with someone in the polycule. So this goes back to safety and informed consent. If you are not sleeping with anybody else in that polycule, who fucks whom has nothing to do with anything. Um, Dee says that she has a friend who sends her nice photos. Ask if they had to stop since we got married. I'm actually gonna, that's something else that's like, no, that changes literally nothing. We're still poly. Um, yes,
I mean, but that's nice of them
it
to
is, but
ask
literally,
instead of
why would it? Like, it's
assuming.
not going to change anything. Like, it's just it's a very weird. Oh, this one. That's great and all, but I don't really see it working out long term. Well, cool. I'm glad that you don't think it'll work long term because so many monogamous relationships work out long term.
Mm.
Like, why? I like. So you don't think that being poly is going to work out long term, but all your like past failed monogamous relationships are okay. Totally fine. Can I join you guys? Is always that's always a fun one. Like for what? Burgers, a drink, a
You're
trip to Disneyland,
assuming
just
that
like
you're
every
invited.
like. Oh my god, it's just like people that assume that like, oh my god, every gay person is gonna like, oh god, what if they hit on me? It's like, bro. First of all,
First of
no.
all.
And not every gay person's gonna find you attractive. Not every poly person is gonna want to just have you jump in bed for like a threesome. Trust me. Like, for a plethora of reasons. Like oh my god, like, yeah, like,
Mm.
I believe if you're in a relationship with someone, you don't have room in your heart for anyone else. Okay, so
Oh.
when you're in a relationship, you just ditch your family and friends because you're incapable of loving anybody else. Is that how that works?
Of course.
Okay. Is it because your partner is bad in bed? Okay, again, polyamory isn't just about sex. It's about connection, first and foremost. And not only that, but there are polyamorous people that identify as like asexual. So why? No, it has nothing to do with how good or not somebody is in bed. That's not like. And then there's in this one, then it's like, oh yeah, I get polyamory. It's like sister wives. No.
But is that because the mainstream media took things out of context?
What they did is they decided to focus on one type of sort of polyamory, which is polygamy, which is one man, multiple wives, and those wives are not allowed to have other partners. So each of those wives are in basically a monogamous relationship with this man, while the man is in a polygamous relationship with multiple wives. The opposite of that would be polyandry, which is one woman, multiple husbands, same rules, as it were. But you don't see that as much. And no, that is polygamy is a very, very different type of polyamory and is usually religiously focused.
But I'm saying that I don't think that I think the mainstream took the hype and then didn't explain that this is not like the others.
Well, even when there are shows that
Just like
have
anything else, they don't take the time to explain it.
Oh no. And then when shows do have some sort of like a poly relationship represented, it's usually the worst fucking people on the planet. And you're like, oh my god, this is the worst representation of polyamory ever. Like, ugh. Oh yeah, and so now that you're married, right? That's because we can sit there and throw things at the TV and be like, this is fucking terrible. So now that you're married, does that mean you're not poly anymore? It's like, no, we're still fucking poly. We're just married. Like, it changes literally nothing. Like, just because we got married doesn't make us any less poly. It literally, poly people can be married, they can be single. Many are legally married to one partner, but have commitment ceremonies with other partners. Like, being married literally changes nothing as far as our status goes. And if for some reason a polyamorous couple who before they got married had a discussion, they were like, okay, well, after we get married, no more. And then it's like, okay, well, good for you. But
is that common?
No, not generally. Not that I've seen. Like it's weird. I don't know like why but it goes back to the whole idea that being poly is casual and a phase, and you know what I mean? But it's where it's not, definitely not. Don't you get jealous? Jealousy is always a hot topic when it comes to polyamory, because either folks assume that it's all jealousy, or folks assume that there is zero jealousy, and it's not true. Jealousy happens. Jealousy is a human emotion and reaction to things. It is what it is. And being poly doesn't make somebody more or less jealous than being monogamous. It really doesn't.
I think in any relationship, it just
The
lives.
difference, however, is because of the nature of polyamory, a lot, not all, Jesus Christ, we all know not all, but a lot of poly folks have actually done the work to understand their jealousy and how to deal with it. And again, it doesn't say that, that's not to say that jealousy doesn't happen, but I think a lot of poly folks are more in touch with that, and they're able to say, okay, my being jealous has absolutely nothing to do with the other person. It actually has to do with myself. And this is what I need to do to be able to work past it. Because the first thing that happens in like monogamous relationships, someone gets jealous, it's automatically, well, that person made me jealous. No, they didn't. Your jealousy is a reaction to something that somebody did or was perceived or whatever, and you are in control of your own emotions. Somebody, somebody talking to somebody does not all of a sudden make you jealous. Like that, you are the one that needs to deconstruct why that upset you and then deal with it. And Dee says in understanding jealousy versus envy, there's a difference. Like, you can be envious that your partner has two other partners, and one of their partners is taking them to Vegas for the weekend or whatever. You're not jealous of that person. You're like, oh, I want to go to Vegas. So it's not jealousy. It's, I would like to be doing that also. But it's not a jealousy thing. It's, oh, I would also like to be doing that. And no one is responsible for others' emotions. That's a big one. So it is not my partner's, we should have a whole thing on jealousy. It is not my partner's responsibility to tiptoe and walk on eggshells so that, my emotions can be kept under control. That is not, Oh, what about your kids? Okay, what about them? I'm like, what about them? I think that if you are open and honest with your children about the different types of relationships and things, I think that your kids will probably grow up being better, less judgmental, more accepting adults. I don't know what our kids would ever do if we actually ended up seeing like people that, stuck around for any length of time. Because I think at this point they just think that, we're poly, but not, because we're the worst poly people ever.
Non-practicing.
Seriously. Like I swear, like if either of us ever got a partner that was actually around and like met the kids and like was there for more of a long-term situation, I think finally they'd be like, oh, maybe they are actually poly. But I think right now they're like, okay, sure, grandpa, like, fuck you, judgmental little assholes. They're not dickheads. But it's like, why do you have to teach your kids that monogamy is the only way? Number one, when the majority of monogamous relationships fail. And number two, when that's driving home that love is finite and you only have so much to give, and when you give this much, then there's no room for any other love in your life. That's it. And that's not to say that you should force your kids into like poly relationships, which is just dumb. But be open with them so they understand that, you know,
Or don't treat them bad
no, because if
either.
like, if what if they are, they're getting to be, older teens, young adults, and they find themselves having feelings for more than one person. You don't need to tell them that that is bad, that they have to pick one. It's like, well, you don't. You can have a conversation, you know. Not
Mhm.
everybody is going to be poly, but not everybody is also going to be monogamous. So it is what it is. If you want to know and understand polyamory, there are so many resources that you can dive into. There are books. There are some creators on like Instagram and stuff that are actually good. Um, there's so many things that paying attention to like mainstream media.
There's
Like,
some, sex therapists too, and relationship therapists that talk about, not just poly, but different aspects of
so okay, so
relationships
so
that
so
are
on 90.
I'm talking about
Oh, no, no,
licensed
no, I know.
professionals, not just
There
creators.
are so on the most recent season of 90 Days Last Resort, right? One of the couples on there, the
Mhm.
wife was talking about wanting to have an open marriage, and one of the therapists on there was actually a sex and relationship coach as well as being a licensed therapist. And she was like, I'm ethically non-monogamous, blah blah blah, and I was like, oh, this is great. And while this couple is talking about getting into an open relationship in the most unhealthy way possible, this therapist, who apparently is ethically non monogamous, has multiple partners, blah, 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 is saying nothing. Is
At all?
nothing. At no point does she stop them and say, okay, if an open relationship is on the table, then there needs to be some discussion about this, 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 this. Jumping into it like this is not the way to do it. It's just going to end up with a lot of hurt feeling. Not once does she jump in.
Nothing about
Rules, I
rules
hate rules are terrible. It's communication. We don't want to say rules because
or
boundaries are better,
boundaries?
rules are nah. It was like we're sitting there waiting and we're like, "Oh, that's really cool." And then this couple starts talking about being in an open relationship in the worst possible way and we're like, Nothing. You're going to say nothing."
But that's the worst
Really?
part, see? That's what I'm talking about, like, when things hit the
And that's what I'm
TV,
saying, like, do not
like
look to like mainstream media for like how to be like, please don't. And
no, what I was referring to is, like,
uh,
trained professionals, not creators or people that are like, "Oh, I watched this
right.
movie."
And there are
Those people
there
are
are
instantly
like
turned off
therapists and
for me.
stuff that do have experience and are knowledgeable when it comes to poly relationships and stuff. The only thing you have to make sure though is that they are not trying to push their own type of poly onto you because what works for them may not work for you. So there's that. I
Mhm.
mean, and honestly, okay, let's be real. The folks that I see bagging on polyamory, because we all see it on Facebook. People are like, "Why can't anybody just be faithful?" Blah 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 blah. The folks I see bagging on the poly lifestyle are usually the folks who are compulsive cheaters who like hook up with a dozen different people every weekend and are constantly bouncing from one husband or wife to like every other week. Like we've seen those people. I was like, all right,
So they're practicing, non-practicing.
they're a hot fucking mess, is what it is. It's like so you won't you you bag on being poly, but you treat your partners like shit.
But you are.
Right. And you are poly, you just won't admit it because what you're doing isn't the ethical non-monogamy. You're just being kind of shitty
Mhm.
about it. Like, yeah, so yeah. So there you go. What not to
Can't
say
fix the
to
people.
a poly person or poly couple. You know, just don't be a jerk.
Mhm.
Let's say.
Mm. Mhm. Um, I I think so often we see people, going after what they don't know what the real facts are, and so they just continue on this dry spell. So, um, and it's good that we explained it. I maybe we should clip the part of you talking about this and send it to
Right.
those folks that post those kind
Seriously.
of. All right, so I guess it's my turn. Let's see if it's gonna work. If I can survive this. um, and I added some news items while I was sitting here waiting for
Oh, good.
everything to get back to normal. And of course, it's 50 minutes in, and I guess the internet's sort of working because I can hear you and see you clearly. So let's get to the news, the current events. I played the wrong
I
one.
don't. I
Did
don't. I
I?
don't know. I was actually wasn't looking.
I think I played the wrong one.
I looked away for like 30
I
seconds
played the
because I
wrong
wasn't like
one.
it was.
It's
It's
okay.
fine.
Next time, I won't give the segments the same sound.
Ah.
Because I was like, this sounds the same, but it wasn't.
It's
Uh, anyway,
fine.
uh, so we'll be light on the dump truck this week. I feel like news was sort of light on the dump truck, though he has defied a 9-1 Supreme Court decision. Anyway, um, that's enough of that. But the big news this week that might have outshined the dump truck was that an all-women crew took a 10-minute flight 66 miles above the Earth. It didn't get like the big hoorah like before, like people thought, I guess. Um, there was a lot of people that criticized it. There was a lot of people that were like, of course, the conspiracy theories have started. Um, and so, um, yeah, and Katy Perry took a moment to perform a little bit up there singing. And when she got off the ship, um, kissing the earth.
So
And
fucking. It's, oh my god. It's like, are you
I'm
fucking
like, well,
kidding me,
girl,
bro?
you didn't go like completely into space because that would have like killed your body for real. Um, and this was supposed to be like one of those things where it inspired women. Not that it didn't, but in the climate that we are having at the moment, um, actual women are being um, let go from NASA. Like,
Where the fuck did I go?
I don't know. I'm not, look at two hands, not touching anything.
That I don't know.
It's asking me. Freddie Prince Charming wants to join.
Oh my god. What the I think it's restream. Honestly, I think it's restream. I don't think it's us tonight. I think it's restream.
So anyhow, the fact that DEI is going out the window and all these things, and we're supposed to be inspiring women, um, kind of was like this crooked puzzle that we were putting together. And the thing that didn't work for me was having Jeff Bezos on this flight.
Well, he wasn't
Um,
on the flight. He paid for it, part of it, and his girlfriend was on it.
oh, oh, that's right. And I was like, I really feel like she shouldn't.
Well,
I don't know.
nepotism.
I just, I just felt ill. Um,
Because Blue Horizon or whatever the fuck it is his company. That's why
oh,
she was on it.
and oh, well,
Yeah.
she got a ticket. Mhm.
But
And
like
there's
think about how
supposedly
much that shit costs so fucking much. And like with all the shit that's going on right now, that's what you're gonna fucking
250,000.
per person.
Uh-huh.
Like do you,
So, like,
can you
$2 million, 3 or 4 million.
that money could have been spent so many different ways in so many better ways than sending a bunch of rich ass motherfuckers up into space for no fucking reason. None.
I will tell you that I was living for Gail, King and, her terrified look the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm like I mean, once it's over, I guess you can say I went to space, but her face was and all the theatrics with, like, ringing the bell and getting out of the thing, kissing the earth, she was definitely the one that was, like, the most real because she was, like, not even having it. So that was that. And speaking of DEI, Ivy League school Harvard says it will not comply with the current administration's demands for dismantling diversity programming. Um, and good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
I wish more like schools, school districts, universities would be like, no, fuck you.
Mhm. Um, and I don't know if they get any kind of federal. I'm sure they get federal funding, but like I'm sure that there's a lot of people that go to that school that could just afford it without the funding. So,
Yes, plenty.
um,
Plenty.
and I'm sure there are plenty of underwriters that would probably give more scholarships to people that wanted to go there, especially if it's under a DEI like initiative. And I say, well done, Harvard. And many people were saying, well done. And I think they redid their website where it says like research drives progress or something.
Mm,
So they are driving the nail in, like,
yeah.
no joke,
Yeah.
in hard. So, um, way to go, Harvard. Um, and I know because we promised that we would be kind of light on the dump truck because
I I don't I
anyway, so I
yeah.
found some I found some I know that these are not, like, important things, so I found some lighthearted things, um, in this world of misery.
Mm.
30 years ago, will you believe it, a Goofy movie came out.
And I don't think I've
Um,
actually watched it in like 30 years.
what? Well,
I think
I
I've
have
seen it like once.
I I know that we have friends that have performed it, so
Mm.
well, you don't have to have watched the movie to watch them perform. Um
N-
But I have watched it, and I felt like it was like a thing, like, passing it along, um, even though it's on stream. It's like me, you know, "Yeah, I used to watch this when I was younger, and now you can watch it." So, and I saw something where D23 members can, like, go watch it and then, like, get prizes and things. I have to go find that somewhere.
Hmm.
But so if you're in that, you may get a chance to like get into like some special engagements around
Hmm.
the country. It said so. I think I saw a Phoenix listing. Um. Oh, the one thing I didn't put on here is I w- so part of the weekend I watched Coachella. I didn't pay for anything, and it's probably better because I'm a person that doesn't like to be surrounded by people for a
Yeah.
very long time. I Missy Elliott put on a great show. Lady Gaga put on a great show. Um, the theatrics was all about it. And I was telling someone that I feel like Missy Elliott has now stepped up her game, and now I just need to figure out a way to pay for all of the things that she just did, so that I can do them now.
Dude,
So,
you can make that your whole personality, just like the queens that like make the Lady Gaga performances their whole personality for the next like 3 years.
oh no,
Hmm.
why not? Why not? Why not? Um, and I don't, I don't know how many. It seemed like it was a big deal, but I guess the National Recording Registry added some albums to its listing, I guess, and it added Mary J. Blige's My Life album, and there were some other ones that I was like, "Aren't those already, like, some acclaimed, albums that are, like, historical albums?" And so, there was something that was on there that I was like, they're, like, in the Hall of Fame. Why wouldn't this be on the National Recording Registry? Um, but I guess it holds historical value, when you're added to
So,
this,
for the folks that do not know what the
so I thought
National
that was kind
Recording
of
Registry
cool.
is, it is part of the Library of Congress. It's a program that preserves and
Mhm. Oh, sorry.
maintains sound recordings considered culturally,
Yes.
historically, or aesthetically significant. It was established by the National Recording Preservation Act of 2000. The registry selects 25 recordings each year for preservation. So what it is, it's not like
Yeah.
it's not
Do
necessarily
you
an
see the
album.
ones
It's
for
the
this year?
actual. I did not. It's like the raw recordings of songs or albums. So it's not like the CD. They don't just take a CD and pop it in there. It's
Oh,
like the
no.
raw, like studio recordings of things.
Mhm. Do you see the one for this year?
No.
I guess I could look it up too. Albums added to the National
Oh, here we go. Let's see what we got.
Recording.
Let's see, music from Hamilton apparently was put in there.
Mhm.
Who the fuck is Freddie Fender? No idea who Freddie
Oh,
Fender
Tracy
is. Oh,
Chapman.
I'm like, no idea who Freddie Fender is.
She was
Apparently, he's a
added.
Latino artist.
Amy Winehouse's Back to Black album was
Mm.
added. Um, Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go
Oh, Freddie
On.
Fender is like
So,
a classic Latino country
um
singer. Okay. I'm like, who is?
oh, wow.
So yeah, go
We
go
learned
go check
something
that out.
together.
That's kind of an interesting
PBS.
thing to like, see who's on there and who gets added every year. I guess.
And then I'm one of those people that's like, "What is that?" Like, I'll listen to something once, and then if it's not fitting for me, then I'm just like, "Oh, at least I listened to
Right.
it." And then, and that's how I always find out, like, these weird songs that people are like, "Where'd you find that?" I'm like, "Girl, just if you just play random things, sometimes you find them." Or people send them to me now, because I love Pink, I find flamingo songs, or people send me flamingo songs. You too can send me flamingo songs. I may not understand the language that they're in, but
Yeah.
that's fine. Um, have always been a fan. I've always been a fan. Um, Former NFL player, Larry Fitzgerald, continues to invest in his community, um, and has reportedly invested in over 160 startups, and is now starting to empower youth in STEM programs. What I love so much about folks like him, I would say JJ Watt is one of those people too, is that, like, people get so big with their money, and they get so big with their fame, that they you see their house, you see their, you see this, that, the other from them, and then, like, you never hear any,
Right. Right.
like, good
Right.
doings, I guess. And not to say that everybody needs to, like, scream from the mountaintops that they have now given 200 million to so and so, but it kinda gives you, and it gives others, I say, that, they should be giving back to their community and that they should pay it forward. And I think that's what I love about, you know,
Mhm.
folks like this. And so he continues to give back to his community. And so that's my tidbit. Um, and I had those saved on my phone, and for some reason I did not add them earlier today. Um, but we took a break from dump truck as promised. He's still up to it. And I
Sometimes it's necessary
look
because
forward to
I can't.
sharing
I
more with you
like
because there's a lot next week, I'm sure, that we'll
God.
have to
There's just gonna be more and
dissect.
more and more and more. Let's see what have we got coming up. Oh, tomorrow night.
Oh,
Yes.
before you move on, Katie Hobbs, Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs vetoed a
Mm,
bill. It was a
yes.
trans bill or
Shit.
anti-trans bill.
You figure that out. So tomorrow night at Gracie's Tax Bar,
I'm
Felicia
gonna
and
look.
I are going to be back hosting sex trivia. We've got some super fun prizes. It's going to be a good time. It's always a good time. Come bring your friends. Come do the thing. Um, show off your knowledge if you have any. You know, maybe you do, maybe you don't. We'll find out.
Oh, I need to find good source for this.
On
I don't know if
the 24th, Felicia is back at Drink Me Tea Room for Drag Bingo. And then on
yes, and it's almost sold out. Don't ask me for tickets.
and then on May 24th, which we're talking about it ahead of time, but there's a reason for it. On May 24th, it's the annual Drag Story Hour Arizona fundraiser. And folks that watch the show or listen to the podcast or watch us later, whatever, we'll also put this on our Patreon. But fans of the show are able to get 20% off tickets with the code LIVE2025, all one word. So go if you go to my profile, it's on there. If you go to Drag Story Hour Arizona, the link on there to buy tickets is like it's all over the place. It is on this graphic over here. There's the QR code. But go and buy tickets, come out and support Drag Story Hour Arizona. Put in the code LIVE2025 for 20% off your tickets. And if I know we know so many oh god, how do I make this go away now? Oh, how do I make this go away?
That
It's fine. How do I make this go away? Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. How do I
switch the
make?
screen
Oh, there we
back.
go. There we go. Got it. Oh, bleh. um, what was I gonna say? Oh, I know that we have a lot of artists, we have a lot of makers, we have a lot of um, people that do all sorts of stuff who watch the show, who love to get involved in things. If you are someone who would like to donate a piece of art or a service or something for our raffles, send me a message and we can get that situated. Last year we had some awesome raffle items. And people were very excited about the prizes. And this year there's going to be, like, we always have good prizes. So if you would like to donate something that will help contribute to Drag Story Hour Arizona, let me know, and we will get that taken care of and situated for you.
Mm. Mm. I didn't find it, but maybe I'll include it next week in our news. But I thought I saw someone post that Katie Hobbs had vetoed several bills today, including an anti-trans bill. But I
Put that
will look
info.
further and share
And we
next
do have a
week.
confirmed guest. We've got a couple more in the works that we need to figure out. But on April 30th, we will have Christopher Inez Onyx. Mr. Gay America Esquire will be on with us.
Yeah.
Yay!
And if I have reached out to you and I know that you're watching and you haven't responded to me, I'm moving on now.
We have other people that will actually respond, so we'll get those people on.
Yes, because usually I say, "Are you available on this date?" Which means I have like blocked it until I can move on. I
We're
have a.
moving on.
It's just so that I don't
We're
double
moving
book people. Yeah.
on.
So like we're moving on. Anyway, thank you for watching live. Thank you for watching on the replay. Thanks to nearly since we moved to Spotify, of course, we had like over 15,000 downloads before that, but since we moved to Spotify, we're almost at like 2,000 downloads. So thank you for continuing to download our episodes, share the episodes, um, put it, put them on repeat if you want. But I don't know what kind of time you have, but thank you for doing that. And we will see you next week for your
Good
Wednesday night
night.
conversation.